Can take it back a little bit in history here. Joining us, Christopher Merritt and Dominic Priori. They've written a new book tracing the history of POP, Pacific Ocean Park. If you were around then, we don't have to tell you much, because you all went there at some point. It was a huge attraction, and good night, everybody. A huge attraction in Santa Monica during the 1950s, 1960s. Well, Santa Monica Ocean Park, Venice. I'm not sure where it was located, but for a short time, it actually attracted more visitors than Disneyland. Welcome to both of you.
Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You can almost tell how old somebody is by how they relate to Pacific Ocean Park, right? It was a land of dreams on a pier right off of Ocean Park between Santa Monica and Venice. And it was created to be the ultimate family artistic attraction. It devolved to something else over time, but let's go back and take a look at some pictures and tell us about it.
Yeah, that's the entrance to Pacific Ocean Park, known as Neptune's Courtyard, which was the precursor to entering the first attraction known as Neptune's Kingdom. And the fascinating thing, there are many fascinating things about POP, all the attractions were designed by motion picture art directors and designers, so people who worked at Columbia, MGM, Paramount, they all came in and designed these things with a heavy theatrical take, so you ended up with some things that were kind of similar to carnival attractions, but you had a lot of very themed theme park attractions.
There was like the space age, then you had the whole tiki influence.
Sure, major Polynesian pop.
What are we looking at here?
Well, that's a piece of concept art for a ride called The Deepest Deep that all the art directors pooled their resources and paid for and owned and operated, and they put it in a Quonset hut, and they made the ride vehicle so complicated that it was on a hydraulic lift and was blowing hoses all the time, so it was rarely open, but it had an amazing tiki Polynesian theme to it.
When people went to the beach, this is what they saw. This is the sight that jumped out.
Yeah, it's incredible. Look at that. I mean, who wouldn't want to visit
What is at the
right,
top
Dominic?
of that?
Excuse me?
Who wouldn't want to visit that?
This place took you through volcanoes and bubbling pits. It's almost like a relaxing thing at the end of the pier. The last outpost escape from Los Angeles.
Yeah, you're looking at the Mystery Island banana train, and you got on little happy banana trains, and they took you through a jungle environment with tiki gods, coconut-throwing monkeys, carnivorous vultures, headhunters. You circled an active volcano, and
I mean, it really was
crazy.
Like Disneyland in a way. When I took the book home, and as we continue to look at the rest of these pictures, my kids were fascinated. They're like, where's that and where can we go? And I said, it's no longer here.
The closest thing we have is the Santa Monica Pier now with the rides, etc., but also in the history, which you really outlined in the book.
I love the history of it.
There were so many piers.
There were 4 of them right in a row, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Los Angeles had those 4 piers, and they were there for 80 years. It was a standard thing to know that in Los Angeles, and of course they've all vanished for quite a long time now.
But how about this? Dancing wasn't allowed in Los Angeles.
I did not know.
Was not allowed, so people had to go to there, and eventually the famous Avalon Ballroom and Lawrence Welk and all of that. They had to go there to dance.
Yeah, there was a place called the Cheetah on the Pacific Ocean Park Pier where the Pink Floyd played, and the Byrds and the Doors and all the great rock and roll bands. But prior to that, you know, Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys and Frank Sinatra with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra played there too. So dancing was important there.
It was a big venue in terms of rock history.
I mean, you went from Lawrence Welk to the Doors and the Pink Floyd in 9 years, which is pretty radical to think about.
But that's where we're going, because this thing opened in '58 and went right through all those changes, including the neighborhood around it.
Yeah, it really parallels the American experience. By the late 1950s, you've got a very mannered, conservative approach to things, and as you work your way through the 1960s, it gets looser. There's more mod outfits, more hippies kind of a thing. It's really fascinating.
And the demise, why we no longer have it then?
We certainly don't have enough time to get into that.
Yeah.
It was a perfect storm of different things that happened, financial and business decisions, and unfortunately they went bankrupt in just 9 years.
Well, it's
9 years.
beautiful to look at.
The place, by the way, lives on in a lot of movies. If you see, like, what by then kind of a seedy place as opposed to the beautiful place, it went downhill quickly. Anyway, Christopher and Dominic have several book signings tomorrow night in Echo Park, Saturday in West Hollywood, 2 on Sunday in Anaheim and Santa Monica. Then they'll be in Bakersfield, Paris, and in England.
Details on myfoxla.com.
Go to myfoxla.com.
Go there.
We have it all for you.
It's fun.
Thank you guys. Great.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.